My friend wore an offensive Halloween costume. I might have to cut her off to attend the party.
You should probably cut her off.
We'll see how offensive it is. So I want to start this off by saying we do live in the U.S. And while I know the term I'm going to list off, now that I've researched it, is not considered offensive in places such as the U.K., apparently here in the U.S., it is considered a slur.
I have already changed it. So it's going to read as like in the little asterisks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's, we'll read and you'll get there.
I, female 21, have a friend my age who loves dressing up for all occasions, especially Halloween. This year, she was inspired by our local festival to dress up as a pirate, but not just any pirate. An Amazon Prime labeled the costume a pirate,
and which is a slur for Roma people.
What should I
just
say?
Pirate G.
A pirate G, but that sounds like cool. Like
a pirate G slur.
A pirate G slur.
I don't know. Yeah, no. That is how you'll have to refer to it.
By the way, this comes from Worldliness Old 229 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, a group of us decided to meet up for a picture at a church trick or trunk with some of our kiddos, and another friend of mine, male 23, complimented her on her outfit. She went all out with jewelry, a hat, swords, fake scars, etc. I mean, what if couldn't she just
She could have just relabeled it. Like,
couldn't she just say I'm a pirate?
I'm a cool pirate. Yeah, she could have just said she was a pirate.
Or I'm a vagabond that travels.
There was a lot of different ways she could have said that.
Yeah. When she later posted pictures on social media, she captioned it actually calling herself a pirate G-slur. I thought nothing of this, as I really never cared for what a G-slur is. Not being mean, I just never thought about it in truth. Hours after this post, there was a text screenshotting her post sent to a newly made and separate group chat without this friend. It was, "Let's go with Jay from the trick or trunk." He was absolutely livid at her for the post, saying he was grossed out by her insensitivity and outright racist behavior. To be fair, I don't think a lot of people know about this.
I honestly don't think a lot. I think I wouldn't leap to immediately be like, "You're being racist." I'd be like, "Hey, just so you know, this is considered a slur by, Roma people."
I asked what in the world he was talking about, and when him and another friend explained to me why it's considered a slur to the Romani people, I agreed her post was not good, but I highly doubted she knew of this. This isn't someone I could ever see being outwardly hateful to really anyone for anything, especially not on social media. Yeah, a lot of people are just not educated on this.
Yeah.
And also there's like stuff on TikTok where people will be like, that's a slur, and then it's actually not a slur.
Yeah,
people... I got shat on for saying picnic on TikTok, which is totally not a slur.
Yeah,
but people were like, "How dare you say picnic?" Because there was one video on TikTok that went hella viral about picnics.
Yeah.
This isn't someone I could see being outwardly hateful to really anyone for anything, especially not on social media. Another friend suggested that if I was so confused, maybe she was.
Yeah.
That it could be an innocent mistake and an issue of just not knowing. Jay, however, claims that ignorance is not an excuse for a full display of cultural appropriation and racism. I think it totally is an excuse.
I agree. I mean, I think there are different types of ignorances.
Yeah,
too.
This is not hateful ignorance.
No.
This is I accidentally dressed up as the wrong thing.
Yeah, and
it's not
didn't know this was...
It's I actually titled my dress up of the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think there is types of ignorance where you were raised ignorant and you are, hating on a specific group of people just because you were ignorant of the world, and that is a problem. But I think this ignorance is I literally didn't know that was a slur because not many people know. Not many people. I mean, language is constantly evolving, and we're constantly discovering, more information about how to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
And language that we use today, like queer, is now, very popularly used term,
But it
was offensive.
A decade
Yeah.
ago, it was offensive.
Yeah, so I think it's just like being, obviously if someone's being outwardly hateful, call them out. But I think it's just being kind
Yeah.
and informative when telling people about things.
So Jay, however, claims that ignorance is not an excuse for full display of cultural appropriation and racism. He may have a point to that, but I would really like to message this friend to speak to her personally on this, just to get her perspective. But he says it's too late for any of that, that she's not special and shouldn't be forgiven whether she knows what she posted was harmful or not. He says she is no longer invited to tomorrow's Halloween bash, and he is going to block her on all social media forums, not wanting to associate with a racist.
This is too far.
That's too far.
In my opinion, this is too far. This is I feel like if you want to be actively, anti-racist and actively working on that and stuff and trying to better the world, you have to sometimes, especially like for white people, you have to inform people.
Yeah.
Like that's our job is to educate ourselves and educate other people, I think.
Not just, and also if you completely block this person out,
yeah,
you have stopped the education process.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, well, they're not going to learn now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say he's blown this way out of proportion because we don't even know what her intentions were.
Yeah.
Well, they don't, but I do, because I messaged her. I asked her why she chose her costume. That's how I found out about the Renaissance Fair inspo and the Amazon Prime costume pieces. I haven't even told her about Jay and the rest of the group chat yet, and she literally said to me, oh, the costume is a G-slur pirate on Amazon with a screenshot. Does this prove I'm right? No. Does this kind of open the door to the possibility I may be right? Yes. So I want to wait. I don't want to just cut someone off who may not know what they did was anything wrong. Should I tell, or am I the a-hole for not just cutting her off right here and now? What else can I do? And there are some comments.
I think it would be pretty, I don't know. I feel like that's the worst thing to do. Just cut her off without telling her what she did.
Yeah.
Like everyone cuts her off.
Learn.
And
she'll
she's
just
like,
keep
what?
doing it.
What happened? Yeah. No, I think that just tell her, hey, like, some people consider this offensive. Probably wouldn't call that, that. And if she goes, well, I think you're wrong, and like, yeah, I don't care, whatever, then she's the a-hole. But we don't know what she's gonna say until you tell her.
Also, like, can we hear from I want to hear from the Romani people.
This is from what I have heard is coming from Romani people.
Like, no, I want them. I want this person to apologize to the Romani people. I want the Romani people to give this apology right now.
Yeah, they need it.
But comments, legitimate net 1294 says, Jay sounds more obsessed with policing other people instead of teaching other people. He has blown this way out of proportion, and it would absolutely make me reevaluate my friendship with him.
I honestly agree.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating to be with people who are so vigilant in.
Well, doesn't allow any room for education.
Yeah. I think there is a time place for that kind of behavior where you're just like, I can't educate this person because they are not willing to learn, and it's a lot of effort with someone who's actively prejudiced or something. And then there's just like, someone didn't know that a word was offensive, or they've said something that was a little bit off, and you just cut them off. Like, we're humans. People are going to make mistakes from time to time,
and you're not going to know everything.
Yeah.
Also,
no one knows everything.
I'm almost positive that this person that's cutting out the costume lady, I bet he found out about this like 1 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
There's no way he's known it his whole life.
Well, I mean, the thing is with children, when they say a bad word or a swear or something like that, we don't immediately like ostracize them because we're like, oh, well, they're a child. They're literally learning the language. And I think that sometimes we need to also understand that people learn language their whole life. You're constantly learning things, and there shouldn't be an expectation that you know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but we got an update one day later. So, small update for you all because I am heading off to bed. So, it's only been a few hours since my last post, and I won't lie, a lot of the comments I've gotten have been really eye-opening and some absolutely hilarious. I already edited my first post to clarify a few things and answer some questions. So if you read the updated version, please skip the below. Is Jay Romani? No. I asked him again. He has no Romani ties he is aware of. Is he the host of the Boo Bash? Also, no. This is our second year having a bash, and it is again at another friend's barn. Is Jay a Christian? I'm not sure how that's relevant, but no, he's actually an atheist. Update below. So I decided to take some of your advice and basically message Mia, as we'll call her, asking her about her own version of events. I was worried someone else may have already messaged her, but based on our conversation, I don't think so. To put it simply, she claims to have no idea what the word G-slur even means. How it could be offensive to members of their community, and immediately changed her post to say she was a Renaissance pirate. I tried to take it as a moment to educate, like you all suggested, and she was receptive of that and very apologetic. Thought I explained. I don't feel she had anything to be sorry to me for. I wasn't offended. I have no right to be, but I just wanted her to be aware for the future. Around the same time, I decided not to tell her about what Jay had said, hoping to message him myself and smooth some things over by explaining her perspective. I knew he wasn't open to listening at first, but he had a few hours to cool down, so maybe it was worth a shot. Maybe this didn't need to be a big blow up where someone's feelings got hurt.
I doubt it. Seems like Jay's pretty up in arms.
Well, if there is any chance of that, Jay set that chance on fire and poured on it gasoline when he edited Mia out of the group photo.
What the heck?
Does he need to virtue signal that hard?
This is crazy.
This is kind of, yeah.
This is crazy.
I mean, we understand we shouldn't be saying this word, but
did she say that Jay is, like, what race Jay is? Is Jay white?
Jay is not Romani. Romani. Rumney, as Caitlin Van Haven said.
You guys are given 50
Now,
different.
in her place was either a big white blurry area or half an eyeball from a poorly cropped selfie. So he didn't even edit her out well.
He didn't even use the
AI.
Photoshop AI
Yeah, he
edit.
just deleted her and left white. Mia saw this and started messaging the original chat, asking Jay what was wrong and if she'd upset him somehow. Remember when he said he was blocking her on all socials? Well, I guess that was a lie because he was still in the chat with her and responded saying that we had made a decision as a group to no longer associate with her.
Which isn't even true. That's just his decision because OP hasn't agreed to that.
I was absolutely stunned. I couldn't believe what I was reading, and honestly, I'm still at a loss for what made him think this was a good idea to say he speaks for all of us, especially where we can all see and find it ourselves. Mia kept typing and deleting, while Jay spam messaged her about how gross her behavior was, and she can't just change the post now. You can't turn back time and change what you said like a coward.
Honestly, I would not be friends with this guy anymore. This guy sounds exhausting.
He sounds insufferable.
He sounds like a miserable person.
At some point, we were notified Mia left the group chat, and I just feel awful for not reaching out sooner. Everyone started to argue with Jay that he was wrong for all of that and really needed to relax. Maybe not speak for the rest of us as we are also adults, etc. The only way he seemed to know how to respond was with, well, I don't regret it. I've said what I have to say.
But you also said what you thought everyone else had to say.
Well, I beg to differ. So that's when I screen recorded the entire Snapchat convo in the group chat he made without Mia. I've not sent this or shown this to her. I'm currently trying to calm her down along with her life partner, who is calling my roommate all confused. Roommate is the friend with the barn. Hopefully by tomorrow, I have a more of an accurate actual update as to whether we think Jay and Mia can and even should maintain friendship or keep in the same circle of friends. honestly, Jay is going to be one of those people that just cuts out all of his friends.
Yeah. There's going to be a day when you make some sort of mistake and he's going to cut you off.
Yeah. This guy is insufferable. And I just feel like this is an impossible standard.
Yes.
This is an impossible standard that he's setting, and also a fundamentally flawed standard for creating the type of world that you want to live in.
Yeah.
If you want to live in a world where people are being respectful of all races, cultures, ethnic groups, what have you, you need to give space for education. If you just isolate, what happens is you have echo chambers that build in popularity and population. Because if you just keep exiling people that don't agree with you, then all of a sudden you have all these people who are exiled instead of educated.
Yeah. I mean, one of the main reasons why we have racism and prejudice is because of lack of education. And so if you're just like, well, I'm not going to do it, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Then you're not going to get the world that you want. If it's purely ignorance and not based off of hate.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel Jay is doing something hateful.
Yes.
Out of a place of like virtue.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of what virtue signaling is. Mm-hmm. It's like being mean by how virtuous you are.
You're like, well, I'm so much better than you, so you can't even be in my presence.
Yeah. Like that's like dick move.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've already decided myself that if this breaks us and I have to choose a side, I choose Mia.
Yeah.
Because everyone makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
And I really think that's all her post/costume was. Yeah, I don't think she was doing a hit piece on the Roma people by posting this Halloween costume.
No.
Again, thank you for all the advice, and I will try to keep you all updated as things play out. Sorry for any typos. I am absolutely exhausted. Happy November 1st. And there is an edit and an ad. But Sophia, really quick.
Yes.
What do you think about this whole thing? Is Mia an evil Roma hater that wants nothing more than to see this this traveling community meet their demise? Are they still traveling? What's the update with them?
No, what? I think they're
with the Roma people.
Well, I think it was, from what I remember, and this could be slightly incorrect. I think it was a lot of Romani people were kind of like, because of political stuff happening at the time, they were like, a lot of them were in poverty and they were having to travel and sell things and stuff.
Right.
To sustain like livelihood. And so then they gained this reputation that was, incorrect and prejudiced. So I think no.
So they're not a nomadic people?
Okay, so from my recollection, I believe there are two uses of the G slur. There are people who are still just travelers, no relation to Romani people.
Right.
And they're like, some people will call them the G slur. Yeah. And then there are Romani people who they will also use the G slur. So there's like two sections of it.
I feel like the most common use of the G slur is just for
travel.
Like when you think of a traveling group of people, you call them this. And then also if someone's like, oh my God, I got totally taken advantage of in my money situation.
Yes, and then they will use the yes.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's actually, or at least I don't think this person by saying this is targeting a group, even though it could be hurtful.
But it historically has been used as a slur for this group of people.
Yeah. But are you ready for this next edit? No, we did not just sit by while Jay said our group made a decision. I am not a frequent Redditor / poster, so I kind of made it sound like we all just let him tell her off before Mia left the group. Absolutely not. We immediately started arguing with him, but in all honesty, our messages were kind of lost in the sea of spam texting. He is a short sentence typer, if you will, or a one-worder. We got some comments and some extra stuff. Capital Temporary says he just doesn't like her and finally found something that he could use to get the group to drop her, drop him instead. And Pristine Walrus 40 says, when people talk about toxic people, they mean people like Jay.
I honestly don't even think it's that he doesn't like her. I think sometimes there are people who do virtue signal so hard that anything.
Do you know people like that?
I'm not currently, but I have known people like that in college.
Dude, insufferable.
Yeah,
Must be insufferable.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But we got an update 13 hours later. So I've tried to post this twice now. Please let me know if you see it. So it was less than 9 hours ago. I posted an update on this situation, and already so much has happened since I woke up around 7 this morning. First of all, we have a new group chat that is appropriately called Feels Very High School without Jay in it or his best friend, who's been pretty silent in all of this. We have nothing against him, but we are irritated as he was watching the entire time Jay went off in the group and spoke for the rest of us, which, by the way, I do apologize for not being more clear. We absolutely stuck up for Mia while she was still in the group chat, minus the one. Now that I'm more awake and have the time to type it all out, I will elaborate further on what exactly he said. More fake names below. This is typed out word for word as I'm not comfy sharing the screenshots online. Some parts skipped over for time and reading purposes. Okay. Mia. Hey, Jay. Is everything okay between us? Your post kind of hurt my feels.
Why are we shortening feelings?
Because you want to
got me in
cash.
my feels. The
Kinda,
vibes are a little bit off.
Yeah, dude. I just feel like you.
I feel like you vibe checked me really hard, and that put me in my feels.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like you're throwing my feels down my skibbity toilet, you know,
No,
and flushing.
It's too far.
Come on.
It's too far.
What do you mean? People say skibbity toilet.
Not in that context.
How do people say it?
I don't know. I'm not in that. I'm not in Gen Alpha.
I know.
I'm Gen Z.
I know more Gen Alpha than you. I know how to.
But that's so
dude,
so old.
on
Gen Z of
skibbity,
you.
I know.
Disgusting. Continue.
Jack knows. I've learned from him
Ugh.
the ways.
The ways.
The ways. Jay,
Batman.
Don't act like you don't know what you did. I don't believe for a second you did not learn about the G word slur in high school, just like the rest of us.
I didn't learn about it in high school. I learned about it from like TikTok, and then I did my own research.
Jay,
You don't get a pass just because you're stressed or whatever.
Mike, no one cares. Who's making Jello shots? Jay,
And don't give me this nonsense about you going to a private school. They learn it there too.
Mia, Jay, I am sorry. I really didn't have any idea. Are you Romani? I had no clue. Emily, will you calm down? Jesus Christ, it isn't that deep, dude. Jay,
Ignorance and disrespect others is just effing disgusting.
I think this is the perfect voice for Jay.
No one wants you at the party tonight. By the way,
Jay,
we all agreed you should come over if you are fine being so uneducated.
Reddit OP. What the hell? Reddit OP. Mia, we absolutely did not. Mia, Reddit OP told me earlier I changed I changed my post. Jay, I swear it was not on purpose. Mia, you guys have another group?
Dang, that's the worst part of all. Finding out you're excluded from the other group chat.
Jay, we don't associate. We don't associate ourselves like that online, Mia.
Jay,
You understand. Jay. Okay, no.
Emily. Mia, no one said that. He's a pussy and made another group chat. What do I say instead of, do I say peace slur?
Peace slurs.
Emily, to spew his crap. They're one-word texters too. They're all doing it.
Yeah.
Or one-line texters. Jay,
Because you were being willfully unignorant here. Honestly, it was really gross. Emily, of course you agree with her.
Mike, I'm more worried about my alcohol than I am about this crap. You don't speak for literally anyone. Jay, stop being a craphead. Mike isn't an alcoholic. He's just trying to lighten the mood, I think. That was weird. Jay,
It literally isn't my fault.
Reddit OP. Jay, you better get that stick out of your booty. Jay,
That's a long
She
one.
keeps on saying she didn't know. She absolutely does. And all of you are making excuses for her. Ignorance is not an excuse for her very public display of cultural appropriation and use of slurs.
I
Mike.
can imagine Batman saying this.
Dude needs a break.
Joker,
I mean, he's
you
so
keep
serious.
culturally appropriating. Stop.
Evan, Mia is not a racist. Quit it. Mia leaves at some point and we go back and forth for a while. Jay,
What if she had said the N-word?
Jay,
She is white.
Reddit OP, are you being serious? Emily, everyone knows the N-word is bad, Jay. That is not the same. Reddit OP, she left, you're a booty. Jay, because she knows I'm wrong. Jay, not wrong.
Oh, so he had a typo. He goes, because she knows I'm wrong. Not wrong.
Later on, Reddit OP, Jay, she really did take this as a learning moment. You definitely need to calm down. You and I both know that Mia would never post something she thought could be perceived as offensive. It was just like we said earlier. She had no idea it was even a bad thing to say, just like I wasn't aware before you told me. This was a mistake and you have blown this totally out of proportion. I don't know how else to put it or what else she can do other than have changed her post and apologized. Jay said,
You always play devil's advocate. It's honestly exhausting.
Jay, tiring person. Jay, deleting her post doesn't mean blank to the people she offended. The F? Reddit OP, who did she offend? Emily, who do you know that she directly offended? Jay, she offended an entire culture and race.
And Jay is the only one who could stand up.
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to be the savior.
Yeah.
The white
Romani
savior.
people need it. Jay is the only person. Anyway, I haven't responded since those messages, but Emily and Mike hashed it out for a bit. Evan is at work, so who knows where his head's even at. Mia didn't say much to Jay, but has been vocal in our Feels Very High School chat. She left because she felt attacked and she didn't have the energy to deal with all the drama right now. She doesn't know if she will dress up tonight. Jay has pretty much ruined the pirate costume for her. I think no matter what it is called, her life partner is encouraging her to just let it go and have a fun night, while Emily, my roommate with the barn, is pretty certain she wants to tell Jay he isn't invited on her mother's property.
Yeah.
Let's freaking go. She's really upset with the way he just dismissed what we all have been telling him, and we agree his retaliation to what Mia posted wasn't uncalled for. It was honestly insane, especially with the whole blurring her photo out online. I told her I'm 100% on board with asking Jay to stay away if he can't let it go and be civil tonight. Next on the agenda, a lot of you asked if maybe Jay has another personal issue with Mia. I asked. Mia just dropped a bombshell of a puzzle piece before I finished up this post, which she does know exists now, and I'm allowed to share what she said. This is from Mia. I wonder if he found out I didn't lie for him. He left to use the restroom for over an hour again, and they asked me about it. Me and Jay are both med students at the same department, and not enough nurses to go around. Oftentimes they will help. I'm in the medical field, so I don't know much aside from that Mia is apparently the youngest MS they've had in a while. To get patients in a room, Mia said it's important to tell you they do not take vitals without a nurse. They just help them get situated. And Jay apparently has been going off to use the restroom at random times of the day for unusually long periods of time, or said off to help the nurses out again. Mia was pulled aside one day and asked by a supervising physician where Jay went again. Mia said she wasn't sure. The manager later came and asked her also. She was honest this time and said he claimed he really had to use the restroom a while ago. She brushed the interaction off for the time being and went on with whatever she was doing during the time. But here's the part that makes all of this even more relative and really makes me go, Emily says one of the reasons Jay gave her for why he left the church trick to trunk early was he had an important phone call scheduled with his supervisor. Again, not sure how this med student stuff works, and Mia is busy at the moment, so she can't really elaborate further, but we're all assuming that the timeline matches just too perfectly.
Yeah, he got in trouble.
Yeah, so basically, Mia wasn't going to cover for him, and he is now in trouble. After hearing all of this, I honestly changed my mind. Maybe we should be the ones to go on a blocking spree and cut out Jay from our lives for possibly trying to use Mia's mistake as a way to seek his revenge. Not sure what to do at the moment, but Emily really doesn't want to see his face now if our assumptions are correct, because what the actual hell. Lastly, I do want to add before I go that I will again make edits and clarifications as needed. I hope I explained all that correctly. Let me know how I can help you better understand. Edited to calling myself Reddit OP because me myself just looks weird. And not an update. He outside.
He's outside.
This is coming up, but
man,
yeah. What do you think about this update? It seems like he's probably just trying to get revenge.
Yeah, I think it could be both. It could be he's upset with her and lashed out way harder. But I also think that sometimes people are just really strong virtue signalers.
Yeah, I could see.
Yeah, I could see him
both.
doing this without even having been maligned.
But maybe, I mean, he has extra incentive to do it.
Yeah, he's like, well, this is my moment.
So we got an update. So not an update. He outside. So we're going to figure out what that means. Since some people think our friends group's drama is more entertaining than TLC Lifetime, I've decided to type it as such in my slightly tipsy stupor, or I'm going to leave you all on a beloved cliffhanger. Here is your 8 p.m. update this fine November 1st night. Jay was told not to show up here. Jay is now pulling up here now. Now I say, okay, bye. I'll be back tomorrow at some point. Oh, like he literally outside. He literally outside.
Okay? What happened?
Okay.
That's so ominous. So he's like, he's coming. He's outside.
He's outside.
I'm the Batman.
All right. Moonlight Wolf says, honestly, Jay seems very wrapped up in middle school, high school mindset. In med school, you can't just disappear and not tell your supervisor or the attending physician. He should definitely not be allowed at the party tonight, as he was more focused on getting his payback than being a civilized human being. Unfortunately, G-Slur is negatively viewed for reasons I don't want to get into, but not everyone knows that. Jay was likely looking for ammo to fire back at her, and he did. But in being a jackass, he likely just lost a handful of people who have been his friends. If he shows up, tell him that he's trespassing on private property, and if he doesn't leave, he'll get the cops called on him. That marks on his record and should definitely scare him. You can't make a group decision without actually discussing and coming to an agreement. As a group, that's not how that crap works. An OP response. That's exactly how I feel. I don't think this was ever about him even having a white savior complex or anything like that. If the numbers are adding up right, he was looking for something to hurt her with. But that being said, we don't know 100%. This went an entirely different direction than what I expected. And there is another update.
I need to know what happened with him being outside.
All right,
Is she okay?
Let's get the update. Good morning. Well, afternoon for me. But I also just got over a massive hangover, so it feels like my day is actually just getting started. I left you all off on a poorly typed cliffhanger last night when Jay pulled up to the barn. Emily formally uninvited him as I was typing the last update, part 2, and he opened it but never responded. After a few more hateful messages, both personally and group chats, he went silent for a few hours. No one heard or saw him until his best friend's car pulled up. We hadn't uninvited his friend because although he was in the group chat, no one is really super close to him. It's all around a weird situation, but he seems like a nice guy if we're honest. He pulled up, and when I watched from the side as Jay popped out of the passenger side, that is when I made my last post. We did convince Mia it was okay to wear her costume as planned, and her partner was busy in the nearby house helping make drinks, so he didn't quite see Jay arrive. Jay got out of his car and was pretty quiet. Most of the other people there, friends of friends, a few dates and neighbors, etc., had no idea what was going on, but I swear to God, the air still felt tense, even to a few of them because his body language was super strange.
But he was uninvited, no?
He was uninvited. Yeah.
Embarrassing.
He seemed already wasted, maybe high, but we aren't sure. Despite that, it was fine up until I told Emily he was there and asked if she needed help asking him to leave. Instead, we decided to wait it out for a moment, see if he would act civil, and then I realized in my tipsy stupor that honestly, someone should have asked Mia if she was comfortable with him being there. She is the one who's being attacked. This isn't just about him speaking for us, it's about his hate towards her, so I straight up asked if she wanted him to leave. She said if he came up to her or made any comments, probably. But she also chose to give him a chance, which he didn't deserve, just to mind his own business. Yeah, she's so forgiving, and he is so not.
Yeah.
Sadly, that is not what happened. Not even close. It was all fine. Again, a little tense, but overall, he stayed in his own lane until a little while later. He seemed even more out of it, taking off the tie to his costume, American Psycho.
How fitting.
How fitting. And losing it somewhere. He became really loud and slurred his words.
No.
I'm assuming his best friend was supposed to be his DD, but also started drinking, and at some point left, not in his own car, still here this morning. We are hoping to hear back from him soon, and I'll let everyone know when he is found safe. So Jay came up to one of us for the first time the entire night, asking to crash here instead of seeing about car service. Mike, who is Emily's boyfriend, said, absolutely not. And then someone, I don't remember who, jumped in saying that Mia was staying the night and that even if she says it's fine, they know it isn't. So all the friends are going to bat for Mia.
Also, it's just so strange to be uninvited to a party, still go, and then be like, can I stay?
Yeah, even after you isolated all your friends.
Yeah, you did this. They gave you multiple chances.
What do you think Jay is going to be totally chill?
No.
Jay absolutely lost his crap. He started screaming things we could barely understand, but collectively, this is what we put together. Mia, Mia, Mia. Everyone chooses Mia. Who do we all care? She a racist. Looks like a sloot in costume. He also sounded like he was saying something about a tase or a tease, but Mike thinks it was actually tease. Like I said, he was basically gone at that point, and it was even hard to understand when he was asking to spend the night.
So much for his virtue signaling, calling women sleuths.
Yeah, what happened?
Not very virtuous of you.
What happened, bud? Mia's fiance was right behind him. He didn't even know Jay had arrived because he was bartending inside the house. And this is how he found out Jay was there. Not sure how he didn't know sooner, because where the heck did Jay get the alcohol if not at the makeshift bar in the kitchen? Anyway, so he basically grabbed Jay by the back of his dress shirt and started to force him outside. We encouraged a few people who saw to keep partying and followed him to make sure he didn't end up catching a case before we saw him literally throwing up in a tub, those big water containers for animals. Jay shot himself out of there and fell flat on his booty in the dirt, yelling. Mia was full on sobbing at this point. Yes, she was with us, and all of this when all of this went down. Jay started mumbling crap, and Mike took him off somewhere, according to him, calling Jay a car service because his phone was drenched and ruined. Mia was pretty much sober through most of this and remembers things better than the rest of us. Apparently, she did have a brief interaction with Jay when the rest of us were off doing something. He just kind of looked over and rolled his eyes before walking off, according to her. We also found out earlier today that Jay was heard talking about Mia's social media post with a few people there. I'm going to look into this further.
He's just trying to tell anyone who will listen to him.
Yeah.
It's like, you wouldn't believe this.
She has blocked him on everything at the ask of her partner because of all this. I personally don't want to speak to Jay anymore after everything. I don't want a friend like this, and I don't want friends who stick around people like this. Emily and Mike feel the same, while Evan wants to talk it out with Jay when sober. First and see what all of this is really about. Truly, I regret even being dumb enough to let him stick around and feel me and Emily messed up by even giving him a chance to be around. I now think we should have made him leave from the start. I will post if we make more discoveries about last night. For now, I'm getting a headache to leave and need a DoorDash. And there is another update.
Man, oh man, Jay doesn't quit.
Jay doesn't quit.
He's just constantly, and it's honestly so not fitting, but like, I don't know.
It's admirable how much he doesn't quit.
No,
If it wasn't just how terrible he was doing the things that he doesn't quit.
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of times with people who virtue signal this hard, they do end up being like
The worst people.
yeah, well, just like, he's being super misogynistic now. And so it's like there's always, the people who go so hard are pretty hateful.
Well, it's because he's just worried about the perception of being kind rather
Yeah,
than actually being kind.
yeah, and inclusive.
But we got an update.
Man, oh man.
So we might be at the end of the road,
My friends.
my friends. Jay's friend resurfaced for his car a few hours ago. A lot to get into, but let's just say his family almost got the police involved.
Ooh, Ed.
Oh, wow. Because he went missing for nearly 24
Jay
hours.
did or the friend? Presumably the friend. Because they said that the friend left without his car, and they were like, man, we don't know where he went. So I think
Yeah,
they're
I think
looking
it's
for
the friend.
Yeah.
It turns out the reason he left was not because of wastedness, but because he would have caught a case if he hadn't. And coming back to get his car as we all were cleaning up from the boo bash, he stopped by to spill a few beans on himself. By the way, if you want to spill a few beans with us, you can join us live on YouTube and Facebook every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
I'm confused. What's going on? The friend came back to spill beans about
Let's see.
what?
I feel like I'm living an actual TV drama and I might need a sleeping pill. Any suggestions? I feel a migraine coming on and you might too after this. Here comes more "This is so fake" comments. Get ready for it. So, Jay has been having an affair with his best friend's wife.
What?
Before his friend found out about the said affair, Jay confided in him a few struggles of his own prior to the discovery, including that he was not only informed he needed to seek a new practice to complete his medical internship or whatever you call what they were doing for MS, but what Jay said he was doing in the bathroom.
I knew it. He was sleeping with people.
Wait.
Okay, so you remember Jay the whole time was like, Mia wasn't, one of like the supervisors was like, where's Jay? And Jay was always like, oh, I'm in the bathroom. I have to go help the nurses with someone. I bet he was sleeping with people. That's why he was taking so long.
So Jay has a self-diagnosed spicy sleep addiction, and he claims Jay was said to have been beating it off with cam girls on the hub.
Damn.
He also said Jay had a thing for Mia about a year ago, and then she met her fiance, and their engagement about a month ago has sent him into a full spiral ever since. So he actually liked Mia.
Yeah.
Along with that, he actually has had Jay's wallet this whole time, so who knows how the man paid his ride home wherever he went. If this was not my life, I wouldn't believe this crap, but honestly, it's starting to make sense. He says he learned about Jay and his wife's affair because Jay was so wasted and out of it at one point. Him being a dumbass gave him his phone to take a picture of Jay and Evan. In the corner of his camera roll was a completely bare image of this man's wife. I don't know what else to say, but what the actual F. And this is probably the end of the updates because I've learned too much and my involvement with these people probably ends here. Maybe. Who knows? This man is an insane narcissist. Possibly goodbye, my friends. But there's a part 5.
There's a little part 5. Man, oh man. A lot just happened in that last chunk. Yeah, I was
I was not ready for that chunk.
I kind of thought maybe Jay was like sleeping with people while he was going on those long breaks, but
no, you don't got enough time to do that. But
well, I guess he wasn't. He was just going,
he was just
but,
whacking.
Yeah, and then he was sleeping with his friend's wife.
Dude, the one friend he had.
Yeah.
Jay
Everyone
has
else
like
left him.
imploded his whole social life.
His whole life is gone.
But part 5. You ready for it?
Mhm.
We locking in?
I'm locked in.
I suspected this would not be over, and I was right. I hadn't realized it at the time because, as I've said before, no one was all that close to Jay's friend, Zach. Well, Emily got curious and looked up Zach's Facebook again because she got to thinking. She was like, aren't they having a baby? Like, actually? Didn't get where she was coming from at first, but the gasp that left my body.
Jay's baby.
Sweet baby Jesus,
Sweet
help
baby
us all.
Jesus.
Yes, according to his cheating wife's public post, she is expecting. She is almost 6 months along. Now, let me leave you with this image because it is in my head, and I am telling you all about this chaos. You're going to have to live with it too. Zach's visibly pregnant wife, belly and all, was having an affair with his best friend for an unknown amount of time. And that poor man found out about it via the image of said wife, who we can only assume, if it was recent, included that baby bump. What the actual hell? I'm not sure it gets much worse, but I'm honestly scared to say that because it just keeps going. Speaking of which, Mia took your advice and sent an email to the supervising physician and the management at said practice. Emily helped her type it up. So basically says Jay is a sicko and a psycho who may try to ruin my reputation in a more professional manner. I forgot to mention, Zach left the wallet with us last night because he refuses to see Jay, but we do too. So how the heck is he getting that back? We do not know.
Maybe just mail it to him.
Yeah.
That's the
Mail
best you
it
can do.
straight into the sun.
Yeah, take
Put
his
it into the
money,
Oort
mail
cloud,
it,
as Dakota would say.
put it in the trebuchet,
Yeah.
fling it.
Fling it towards him. I edited it
That's where
into
he's
my
going.
last update, but Jay also is a self-diagnosed spicy sleep addict. And I forgot to add that is why Zach said he was beating it in the bathrooms. Oh, and prayers for Cocoa Puff, Evan's golden doodle, because she's apparently sick.
Aw.
I'm logging off for the day, so if anyone has questions, you can ask, but you will be waiting on an answer. I do have an actual job, my friends. Goodbye and good morning.
Good morning, good evening, and good night.
And that is where the episode ends. And the
We
story
really
ends.
went from like,
I was not ready for all of that unlock.
yeah, attacking a person for not knowing about, a slur
Yeah.
to full on cheating.
Really, I thought we were just gonna all have like a nice little educational moment. But
It's Reddit.
it's Reddit. You can never just
Can't escape.
get a good thing.
No.
But if you like this good thing, make sure to subscribe.
We love your good thing.
And see you tomorrow.